What's up, guys? So by now you know my situation with cryptocurrency, and my friend Ellen made starting off with digital currency a nightmare. However, since then I have armed myself with knowledge, and in this video I'll be explaining cryptocurrency, preferably Bitcoin, and how it will take over the world. I'll also be telling you how to get Bitcoin, what to watch out for, and how much Bitcoin I personally own. So if any of those interest you, stick around. My name is Gargant, and welcome if you're new, and returning family, enough love. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so what is Bitcoin? It is the transfer of value digitally. That is it, guys. See you in the next video. But in all seriousness, Bitcoin is the first decentralized cryptocurrency out there. This means no one entity controls the supply of it, and that's what makes it different. In places like the US, the Federal Reserve is responsible for the printing of money. Alright, so Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, which is a pseudo word for we don't know who the person is. Alright, so this guy or girl created this as a response to 2007-2008 financial crisis. And you might ask why? Well, there are pros and cons to having money centralized and power centralized. One extreme misuse of power is in Zimbabwe, where they printed so much money to pay off the debt, it reached to a point where they had a $1 trillion banknote. So a little sleek way to answer someone when they ask you the money is say, name as much money as you want in Zimbabwe dollars. And they run out of commonly known figures before it even starts to affect your wallet. But in all seriousness, it's because of hyperinflation, which we can discuss in our next video. I digress. And to be honest, if I control the Federal Reserve, I'll be printing money for me, my friends, my family. So yes, it became an issue for persons in power, similarly how it would become an issue for regular persons like me and you. So Bitcoin is simply, as I said earlier, an innovative method of conducting transactions between two parties without having any centralized entity being involved. So why is Bitcoin so valuable? Today, Bitcoin is worth around $37,600 per coin. Alright, even before that, I'll explain something. So, the concept of supply and demand is real. And when someone keeps printing money that we use to store value, eventually the more of that money that you have printed, it loses its value. And you see those free stimulus checks that we have been getting, it's not free. Oh no, it's not free. Our kids, our grandkids, and our great grandkids will be paying for those in the future. Nothing is free in economy. So because the government can continuously print money as they feel, eventually the value of the dollar will go down, and that is why we have inflation. And in the formal sense, inflation means the rising prices of goods and service, but in reality it's just simply the fall in the spending power within the dollar. So how is crypto different from the dollar? The government at any point in time has an endless supply of money that they can print. However, with Bitcoin they have a limited supply. At any point in time, Bitcoin only has a market cap of 21 million coins. So if someone can manage to get all 21 million special edition coins, bye bye Jeff. Alright, so just to put this in number at the very basic form, we're going to just try to assume the supposed value of a Bitcoin, how much it should be to date. So if we're just going to cover the cash, remember the US government has cash and digital money. However, we're just going to cover the cash aspect of it. So to date, when I did manage to Google search, the US has about $1.5 trillion in cash circulating in the economy. And we're just going to divide that $1.5 trillion by the 21 million Bitcoin. So in theory, and this is just for US, we're not counting the rest of the world. In theory, one Bitcoin should be worth roughly about $71,429. Alright, so now we know what is Bitcoin and what's its purpose. How does Bitcoin actually work? Well, it relies on something called a blockchain technology, which essentially is registering and verifying the transactions that are made. So it's like checking if the money you sent to this person if it actually came from you and went to that person. And this process cannot be duplicated or counterfeit and cannot be double spent, because this system is set up in a way that it requires confirmation from several servers across the world that all have to register and agree that this transaction was actually made, which in theory should essentially make it impossible to trick. By the way, there's no name attached to the Bitcoin transaction. There's only address, and no, this is not where you live. It's just a string of numbers and letters that are arranged in a particular font and order that is used to identify your particular wallet at that particular point in time. So because it kind of takes a lot of computer processing power to mine a Bitcoin, it has essentially moved from just a currency that conducts transactions and has evolved into this sort of commodity similar to gold. No, alright, there are several other cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin is the big dog. The other currencies are called altcoin, which just means alternative coin other than Bitcoin, and a few are popular are like Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Promise. There is Monero, there is Neo, just to name a few. But in this video, this is not about them. Cryptocurrency is still not widely accepted yet, but eventually the aim is to replace the currencies that we use today, such as the US dollar, the Canadian dollar, the British pound, the peso, and these are what we call fiat currencies. And eventually the aim, as I say, is just to switch out the fiat currencies for the cryptocurrencies. So if you do wire transfer like me, you know that it takes a lot of time, and sometimes even takes days, because there are so many banks that are involved in just a transaction between me and someone else. You have your local bank, and then that money is sent from there to the country's main bank, and then from that main bank to other receivers' country's main bank, and then to their local bank, and then to them. And between all that transaction, there are fees that are accumulated. Not only does it take a lot of time, it also takes money. And with cryptocurrency, preferably Bitcoin, it is aimed at disrupting that process, make it much easier to conduct transactions that are free, and it takes less time to process. Alright, so now that we know basically the basics of what is a cryptocurrency and everything that it's about, how do we actually get it? Well, there's two ways I use, well, three. You have Coinbase, link in description, that essentially you can just use your card or PayPal and simply buy cryptocurrency. They support over 100 countries. They have investment programs that you can automatically schedule continuous deposits to buy cryptocurrency of however you feel or like. They also have an incentive where I think if you buy $100 worth of cryptocurrency, you get $10. They also have a website, they have an app as well. They have daily newsletter about cryptocurrency, and if you feel adventurous, you don't necessarily have to just buy Bitcoin. You can buy other coins, or you can exchange your Bitcoins for other coins. So give it a try. Alright, so as I mentioned, Coinbase supports 100 plus countries. However, only a few countries can actually use the direct deposit or the card or even PayPal. So if you're in countries like Jamaica or the Caribbean, or in a region where they don't necessarily support your transaction, I'm going to refer you to someone that I use when I'm getting my Bitcoin, and that is 876 Bitcoin. On Instagram, just DM him and you tell the procedure. He has several payment options that you can, and if you just tell him I sent you, you'll get the 5% discount on your purchase. So give it a try and thank me later. I will leave his link in the description below as well. Alright, so as I say, I have two ways but three in a sense. So as a trader, one of my broker is RoboForex, and whenever I do trade, I am able to get my profits in cryptocurrency. So yes, I can deposit. However, they have several ways in which you can deposit to fund your Forex account. However, if you want to, you can withdraw your money into cryptocurrency. However, they charge you, but there are special days when they feel generous and decide that they don't charge you. So if you're kind of interested in that, you can give it a try as well. Please guys, I beg you, there are going to be persons in the comments that are trying to probably contact you or take money from you in some ways. Do not, I don't recommend anybody in the comments, okay? Just use the persons that I refer in the link. Use the apps and the persons that I refer in the link below in my description. Alright, so now that you have your cryptocurrency, your Bitcoin, you need to back it up, because if in the event that your broker goes bankrupt, similar to like maybe Coinbase or so, your investment is safe. So with Coinbase, first things first, they have a platform that is safe, and essentially your cryptocurrency and your wallet is connected to a Gmail that you give them. So when you sign up and you're registering, there is a Gmail. So whenever you have coins coming in, you get a notification. When you have coins coming out, you have a notification, and it is saved to that. It is done automatically whenever you do the registration process. You also have cold storage, where is something similar to a thumb drive that you can buy on Amazon, and that will save your passwords and everything, and you get a set of keys, which are essentially just phrases and words that if in the event that your thumb drive looking thing gets lost or stolen, your crypto will still be safe. Just don't, and I mean don't, ever give anybody those phrases or keyword. Alright, and guys, note, I only know 2 ways, and there are more sophisticated YouTubers out there where you can get probably multiple other ways in which you can. However, I'm just telling you what I know and what I've done already. So you can just search up Bitcoin, or what is a Bitcoin, how to save Bitcoin, or how to protect your Bitcoin, and you'll find a lot of information. So don't just stop here for your financial advice. Alright, so if you're still here, which probably maybe just a few persons, but if you're here, first of all, thank you, and I love you guys. So as promised, I have in my Bitcoin wallet about 0.020 Bitcoin. Yeah, that's my little wealth, and I know it's not much, but I plan to increase this year going forward. So guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and remember, I am not a licensed professional. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So love you guys, and see you in the next video.